welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey here at the helm as we work on a brand new Afghan together, and this is the Octagon and Squares Afghan available by redheart.com. So why did I choose this particular project? The simplicity and the fact that viewers can grow the Afghan to whatever they need. This Afghan is 5 octagons wide by 4 octagons in the one direction. So it's a relatively nice, easy throw for the couch. But if you want to make a bedspread, obviously you just have to add more octagons going in both directions. And in fact, my friend Colleen, she's making hers that it is 5 octagons wide by 7 deep, and then she's making it for a double bedspread for herself. So it's one of those that you can add and subtract the amount of octagons and squares in order to change the size of this Afghan. The amount of yarn that you need for this is Red Heart with Love, but you can obviously use Super Saver yarn if you choose to do so. There's only 4 different colors, and when you look at the color schemes, you will notice that yellow exists in every one, then the teal blue, and then the burgundy and the brown are being mixed on and off depending on which one you're doing. But don't limit yourself to just 4 colors. If you have other yarn that you want to play with and really create an abstract looking Afghan, you're more than welcome to do so, as long as you have the right amount of octagons and squares in order to put it together at the end. So you're the crocheter, so the creativity is simply up to you. So here's how this is going to work. We have 3 videos. This is video number 1, and in video number 1 I'm going to be showing you how to do the octagon shapes. A lot of people are confused on the baubles that you are doing within these Afghans, so I'm going to be showing you obviously step by step in order to how to complete the octagon. So that'll be video number 1. In video number 2 we're going to cover doing the squares. The squares are relatively simple and easy to follow along, so you can do that as well. And then on video 3 I'm going to show you how I assembled it, but of course if you have your own methods on the way that you prefer to assemble your Afghans, you're more than welcome to do so. So there will be 1, 2, and 3, and this is video 1, and let's get started on making your octagons now. So now let's get started on this tutorial. If you're looking for this pattern, you can find it on redheart.com, and you can just go to the more information of this video, and there will be a direct link to take you right directly there. We're going to be working on the octagons within this video, and I'm using a size J or a 6.0 millimeter crochet hook for today's tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to be using the Red Heart with Love, and that's what it's calling for in the pattern, but feel free to substitute it with Red Heart Super Saver or equivalent yarn in order to make this Afghan. So now let's get started on this tutorial. To begin, we're going to be starting on the inside of this motif and working our way out, and you will notice that there's a color change every time we do a step, and when we get to the outside area here you will notice that it's very simple. Very easy. These are called baubles, and we're going to be showing you how to do that. There's what it's called as a beginning bauble and a regular bauble throughout this pattern, and we're going to review that as well to make it easier for you to follow along. So let's grab our yarn up, and I'm going to start off with yellow, and we'll get going on that right now. To begin, we're going to create a slip knot, and if you know how to do one already, just create it and just wrap it around your finger twice if you don't know how. Take the back over the front and just hold it, and now take the new back and up and over, and there is your slip knot, and just slip in your hook and just pull it snug, not completely tight. So we have a chaining of 5 to begin with, so let's begin to do that. So we just rotate back and grab it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and simply just want to form a ring. So we're just going to slam the hook into the very first chain just like so, grab the yarn and pull it through and through, and you will have a ring just like this. So this is the straggler, and we want to lay that on top of the line, so when we're going around it in the next revolution that we're going to trap that underneath so you don't see any stragglers hanging off your work. So we're going to start off, and it says to do a beginning bauble in the ring. So you have to look in the instructions for special abbreviations, and it says beginning bauble says chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, work 2 double crochets in the indicated stitch, leaving the last loop of each stitch on the hook, yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook. So that's a beginning bauble. So let me simplify that for you. It's indicating to you got to chain 3. So every time it's saying a beginning bauble, this is what it means. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and simply we are going to that counts as a double crochet, and it says work 2 double crochets leaving the last loop of each stitch on the hook. So let's just wrap our material going into the center, pulling it through. So normally you would pull through 2 and then 2 to finish off your double crochet, but in this case we're just going to grab the yarn and pull it through 2 only and hold it. So we're gonna, let's do another double crochet. So wrap, going in, pull through 2 and hold. So it's asking you to leave the last loops of each of the stitches on. So you have a total of 3, and so now it's saying to yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook, and that is your beginning bobble. So the bobbles are all joined at the top just like so. So now when we go back to the directions, it says round 1 beginning bobble in the ring, which we've done, and now it says chain 2 and bobble in the ring. So chain 2, 1 and 2, and so a regular bobble is work 3 double crochets indicated, leaving the last loop on each one, and then yarn over and draw through all 4 loops on the hook. So let's begin. So we're gonna wrap, going in, pull through 2 and hold. Okay, so we want to gather these last loops that are coming up, and we want to do that for a total of 3 times. So pull through 2 and hold, wrap, going in, pull through and pull through 2 and hold, and so now you have 4 loops on your hook just like so. Yarn over and draw through all 4, and so after you've done a bobble just like so, we want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and do another bobble just like we did. So wrap, going in, pull through 2 and hold, wrap, in, pull through 2 and hold, wrap and in, pull through 2 and hold. You end up with 4 on your hook just like so, and we're just gonna pull through all 4 and then chain 2 again. So 1 and 2. So the 1 and 2 is kind of working its way all the way around, and so basically it's saying to do this 7 times. So the beginning bobble is right here, and then we have 1 and 2, and so with a total of 7 times with the beginning bobble, you will end up with 8 groups of these bobbles working around. So continue to do that, just making your bobbles. I'm just gonna speed up. So you just do your bobbles all the way around, and then every time you do a bobble, chain 2. So what I want you to do is just continue to go all the way around until you have 8 groups of bobbles, which includes your beginning bobble, and we're gonna finish off this color and start your next one for the next round of this particular motif. So I've just finished doing 8 bobbles, and just make sure that at the end you don't forget that you're gonna chain 2 before slip stitching it to the beginning chain that you started off with, and you're gonna pull through and through, and this is the final of this color. So these 3 belong together. They don't look like they're part of each other, but they will slide, and we just want to finish off this color, so we're just gonna snippy snip, and I just want to kind of just pull it up and kind of just tie it so it's just wrapped around kind of just gently as we just weave it through. So it's better to weave in all of your edges as you go along, because the next round what we're gonna do is that we're gonna trap these in a position so that they'll never be seen when you're finished your afghan. So let's begin your next color, and I think I'm just gonna go for pink. Why not, right? I'm now gonna grab the pink, and I'm just gonna form a slip knot. I like my stitches to be a little bit stronger than normal people, and basically you could fasten it on so it doesn't have that slip knot, but I really like the extra security involved in doing so, so that's a personal choice for me. So I want you to slip in your hook in between any of the bobbles. So where you've done the chain 2, you can see that the bobbles are all grouped together, and I just want you to slip in the hook in between 2, doesn't matter which one it is, and just grab the yarn and just pull it through like that. And what I need you to do is that we're gonna do a beginning bobble again, and in the beginning bobble we are gonna be doing a chain 3 just like we did before. So let's begin. So we're gonna go 1, 2 and 3. So we chained up 3, and this is the straggler, and I want to trap that in a position so it's stuck underneath. So we're gonna do a beginning bobble. So we're gonna wrap, going in, pull through 2 and hold, wrap, in, pull through 2 and hold. You have now 3 on your crochet hook. We're just gonna wrap the yarn and just pull it through all of them. So we have that pull through, and then what we're gonna just do is chain 2, 1 and 2, and in the same gap space that you just did, you got to do a regular bobble. So let's do a regular. So we're just gonna wrap, going into the same space, pull through 2 and hold, wrap in, pull through 2 and hold, and wrap in, pull through 2 and hold, and you will end up with 4 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through all of the 4 just like so. So it says that we're gonna chain 2, bobble, chain 2, bobble into the next chain space. So let's begin. So we're gonna chain 2, 1 and 2, and then we're gonna just do another bobbling space just in the next. So we're just gonna go in, pull, and we're gonna start our bobble. So just a bobble is normal. So it's kind of a fancy word. It doesn't really, it means a lot, but it's, you know, it's not too technical. And we're gonna pull through, and now what we're gonna just do is chain 2, 1 and 2, and into the same space we are gonna put another bobble in, just like so. Okay, so we got another bobble there. We're gonna pull through all 4, and now chain 2, 1 and 2. And again we move to the next space here, and we put 2 more bobbles just like so into there. And we want to do this into every space so that every space has 2 bobbles working its way out, working its way through, and then there's obviously a chain 2 in between each of the bobbles in each space as well. And this is allowing the material to turn and grow perfectly so it stays lying flat when you're done. So continue to do that all the way around, and we're gonna fasten off this color when we get back to the start, just like there. We're getting all the way back around, and I just want to finalize the last bobble. So how many bobbles should you end up with? You should end up with a total of 16 in this time, going all the way around. And if you look at this part right in the center here, there should be 8 points. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So that is a good indication. And once you're done your final bobble, be sure to chain 2 and then slip stitch it to the very top of this bobble. You have to go right here. Okay, this is where everything is joined together in this bobble. If you go any further back, it's just gonna make it look like it's standing apart from the rest. So we're just gonna do a slip stitch so that everything is joined, and we just want to trim this material, and again weave in this ends because we're ready to move on. And you can see that we still have a round shape going on even though we are working in the octagon motif at this time, but it's now gonna start taking the shape of the octagon in the next round. So grab your next color that you most prefer, and let's get started. Now this yellow has been trapped into position, so I can safely now go back and just simply trim that out. And so voila, I'm just trimming as I'm going to make it a lot easier, so when I go to assemble that I don't have a lot of strings to work with when I'm finishing off this afghan. So I want to direct your attention now as we move along. We're about to start the burgundy area here, and you will notice that each one of these squares and the corners have only 2 double crochets in here, and then basically there's going to be 1 double crochet here in the middle, and then back to 2 and going all the way around. So I really want you to pay attention to this because this is not like a traditional granny square where you have the 3 2 3, 3 double crochets, 3 chain, 3 double crochets. In the end we have only 2 as we're working all the way around. So that's just one of those little tips that we can get started. So let's grab our next color, and in my case I'm gonna do blue, and as we go I'm just gonna create a slip knot like I did before, and again the way that you fasten on is up to you. So where we need to grab on, we're going to be starting off on a corner, and when you start off on a corner, do you see how underneath that these 2 are working together in one? When we go to join, I want you to grab it in between 2 bobbles, but not in between ones that are just working together as a group. So don't ever go in here or here. Choose one that's right in between. So just look up this yellow and just kind of follow it up, and you can see that this is where exactly where you need to go. So don't pick anything. So don't pick here and don't pick here, but just follow the yellow up and you will see that's exactly where you need to go, just like there. So let's begin this step next. So picking off where I left off, we're just gonna simply we're gonna join it here, and we are gonna do a chaining 3. So let's just join everything together, and just like there. So we're right in between, so following the yellow going straight up, we want to chain 3. So 1 2 and 3, and this counts as one of the double crochets that are in the corner of your octagon shape. We want to now double crochet, so grabbing the yarn, and with the straggler just leave it down on top of the line so you can trap it into position so you can safely cut that later. So we're now going to immediately, so we did a double crochet, the chaining counts as 1, so there is your first corner, and when we get back all the way around we're going to finalize off this corner on the other side. We're simply now going to do 1 double crochet into the next chain 2 space. So just simply jumping over this bobble here, and we're simply just going to go right in between, and we're going to do another double crochet. And do you see how I just left the straggler on top so that I can trap it into position and work our way along. So we're now going to work on the next corner. So the next corner is always going to be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So here we go. So I'm going to put the straggler behind. So we're just going to do 2 double crochets, chaining of 2, 1 and 2, going into the very same space because we're going to turn a corner, and we are going to do another 2 double crochets. So there is corner 1. So this is 1 out of 8 sides that you will have. You immediately are now going to jump to the next chain or gap space in between. This is the chain 2 gap, and we're just going to double crochet. So this is kind of like the runway in between the corners, and now we're going to do the next corner just like so. So let's begin to do that as well. So chain or 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet right into the next corner. And you can see that the octagon shape is now starting to take effect. So just like we did here, the next one here is going to be 1 double crochet, and we're immediately going to jump now and do another corner. So I want you to do that all the way around. So we're going to do a corner, and then you're going to do 1 double crochet lonely by itself, and then you're going to immediately do the next corner, and we're going to work our way around doing the same procedure all the way around as per the instructions. And so then we're in the runway again, so just 1 lonely little double crochet, and then again we're into the next corner. So do that, and we're going to finalize. We're going to keep this color going. Actually, this is one of the main colors that you will see throughout your afghan, and so we're going to keep this color going as we work through the rows of the particular octagon shape. I'm now coming all the way back around, and I just have my lonely little one right in the middle, the runway, and now I just want to finalize. This was the beginning of the first corner, so now we're just going to put in our 2 double crochets into the same spot to finalize the corner off. I want to chain 2 just like we did before on any corner, and then I just want to slip stitch it to the beginning of the chain 3 that we started off with, and voila, you now have your finalized. So you can actually see the 8 sides have now taken shape, and we're now ready to move on to the next row. Bringing your attention now back to the afghan, we now have this round done here. As you can see, you have the corner piece, you have your lonely, and right here. So now we're going to move up, and you will notice that from now on in this particular burgundy section is that you're going to have only 1 double crochet going in on the edge, and then each one of the ones in there in the middle there are just a single double crochet into each stitch until you get to another corner. So it's actually very easy. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, the next 4 rounds are going to be very easy, because every time we go around we're going to simply growing this afghan a bit bigger by adding an extra couple stitches into each corner, and it can make it really indefinite. You could actually do an entire afghan in a complete octagon shape just like you see here, just by continuing to grow around and around and around. So we're now ready to move up, and here's my little tip. It does not say this in the instructions, so this is just my little tip to you. What I strongly recommend is that you need to make sure that you're working on a corner when you go to start, and the way that I do it is that I slam in my hook into the corner piece, and I grab the yarn and I pull it through. And what's going to happen now is that I've kind of slip stitched, and it's kind of come backward a little bit. So you notice how it's more back into the hole, and that's just my way of making sure that this next stitch stays in the corner instead of just on top of the first chain, just like so. So now I'm going to begin to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And so you can see that that's now in the corner, and so for the next 5 double crochets, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I want to put a double crochet right above it. So we're just going to just do a double crochet for 5. So 1 into each one as you go all the way around. So you can either count it or look at it, and you know you're going to get experience, and after you do a couple you're going to realize you don't really need to count, you just got to look for it. Okay, so you got to make sure you got 5 in there. So 1, so this is the first one, that was your corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're now ready for the corner, and on the corner all you have to just do is 1 double crochet in to the corner piece itself, chain 1, and double crochet into the corner again, and every time you do that you're growing your afghan bigger. So now for the next 5 double crochets you again put 1 double crochet right above it. And you want to do this all the way around. This is round number 4 as you work your way around, and essentially what you're doing, that every side, because of the way that you're doing the corner, you're growing your afghan by a multiple of 2, just so you're aware of that. And so now I have in my 5, you can count it if you're unsure, and again the corner gets 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. And I want you to do that all the way around. We'll meet back up and we'll move on to round number 5. We're now coming all the way back around and we want to finish off with our 5 double crochets right in the middle. And again, I'm just taking a quick look. And then when we started, we had the one single double crochet right in the corner. So when we finish off this corner, it's 1 double crochet, chain 1, and then we're just gonna slip stitch it to the top of the chain 3 that you started off with, just like so. So that will complete round number 4, and you can see that your octagon shape is really starting to take effect. And actually I really like this color mix. I wish I would have done the regular afghan in this color now that I think about it. So let's move along to round number 5. In round number 5, we're just gonna simply grow with already what we have. And again, what I just do, this is my tip, ram the hook into the corner slot and grab the yarn and pull through and through, and it's like a slip stitch and it will pull it through, and kind of just backwards and making sure that you're right in the corner of the stitch. So now we want to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and now when we had groups of 5 last time, now that you've grown a little bit bigger and you've grown it by 2 because the corners count, you now have 7 double crochets in a row before getting to the next corner. So you can either count that out if you wish. So let's I'm gonna count that out. What the heck. So 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4, and we're just doing double crochets, 5, 6 and 7. So you've done your 7, and so you're immediately in the next corner. So the next corner is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet as normal. So this time when we're going all the way around, each side is now gonna have 7 double crochets as you work around round number 5. So continue to do that. We'll meet back up and we'll move on to round number 6. So I'm coming all the way back around and I'm just finalizing my last corner, and then just like before, it's 1 double crochet in, chain 1, and then slip stitch it to the beginning of the chain 3, the top of the beginning of the chain 3, and voila, you now have another round just like so. So let's begin to go on to round number 6, and again ramming my hook into the corner slot, grabbing the yarn, pulling it through. This is just my personal technique. I just think it really works well, and we want to begin to do the next round. So 1, 2 and 3. So here's the thing. So when we looked at it before, last time we had 5 and then we had 6, and now we have 9 stitches underneath in order for us to complete, in order to get all the way around. So this time when we go across, we're gonna just do a total of 9 stitches going across the one side, just like you see. So 1, so 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, and one more for 9, and then we're on a corner. So in the corner again, just like before, 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. Now I'm counting for the sake of the tutorial, but when you begin used to this, you don't really need to count those out. You can simply see your stitch work. So you just have to just continue to go around. You can watch TV and kind of have a mindless project at the same time. So continue to go around. Each side is getting 9. Corners are 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. We'll meet back up and we'll move along to your next round on this project, which is round number 7. So continuing along with our project, we're finishing up round number 6, and in round number 6 we had a total of 9 double crochets going across, and then the final corner we have 1 double crochet, chain 1, and just slip stitch it to the beginning of the chain 3. So let's begin, and we're gonna do round number 7. So we're just gonna do that slip stitching technique as I did before, just to kind of backward it up, and then 1, 2 and 3. So chaining 3. So we started off with 5, and then we went to 7, then we went to 9, and then we went to 11. So the denomination basically is that we have groups of 2 growing up every time. So in round number 7 there's going to be a total of 11 double crochets now going all the way across the top, just like you see. So let's begin. We're going to do our first one. So this is the last time we're going to be doing double crochets around this motif. We got only one more round to go after we're done this one, and this finalizes the motif, and all you just need to do is do 19 more of these. Now if you're looking for a tip, what I strongly recommend is that in order to speed yourself up, you don't want to keep looking at your directions all the time. So I'd recommend doing all the circles first, and then come back and do the next color next, and then come and do all the blue on every single one of the motifs as you go along, and it makes it look like an assembly line. But most of the crocheters that are completing this afghan are working themselves in sequence like that in order for them to reduce themselves to have to look at the directions all the time. So that's just a quick little tip. So I'm now in the next corner, and I have 11 going across, and we're just gonna chain or double crochet, chain one, double crochet into the same spot, and then we're just gonna simply turn and just continue to go all the way around. So continue to go all the way around. We're gonna meet back up, we're gonna fasten off this color, and then we're gonna put on a trim, and I'm gonna do the pink because I think it looks kinda sharp with the blue. So let's do that next. It is now time to finish off this round, and again, just like we did before, we're just working our way along, and then on the final corner we're gonna do one double crochet and chain one, and we are just gonna slip stitch to the top at the beginning, chain three, and we're gonna slip stitch it, and we're gonna take this color off now. So we're just gonna snip it, and I just want to just pull it out, and I just want to weave this into the edge just like so. So we're gonna move on to round number 8 next, and in round number 8 we are gonna do a single crochet around it. So the color choice when you're going all the way around, this will be the color that is joining everything together. So what I did for my afghan and what the artist did in this pattern is that the final color of this motif and the final color of the squares equal each other, so when you go to sew them together you will not see any sew strings. So that's a choice that's up to you. You can still get away with it if you don't want to match your colors like that. You just gotta be a little more careful when you're doing the sewing together part. So let's grab on our pink, and we're just gonna join it at any point within the corner just like so. Let's do that next. So I'm just gonna create a slip knot just like I did before, and again this is just my extra security. You do not have to do it this way. And I'm gonna put my crochet hook right into a corner piece, and I'm gonna grab the straggler and the yarn and just kind of pull it through the hole just like this, and I'm just gonna simply chain one. So this begins in the corner, and when we come back all the way around we're gonna be fastening off at this section just like so. So remember how we did it before, is in the very beginning we had 5 and 7, 9, 11, and now we have 13. So you can either count it or just go around as you wish. So now you're just gonna start off, and you're just gonna single crochet into every stitch going all the way around. And in the corner we're simply just gonna do one single crochet, chain one single crochet into each corner piece instead. And I put down the straggler on top of the line. Okay, so we're just gone on top, so it's trapping into position, and essentially this is the final revolution of this particular motif. So we're just gonna go around. I'm just gonna go along the one section here before I get to a corner to show you what to do, and there will be a total of 13 double crochets working across before you get to the corner, just like so. And the corner is next, so we go one single crochet, chain one single crochet right into the same corner, and I want you to do that all the way around. So one single crochet into each corners, one single crochet, chain one single crochet into the corner, and continue to do that all the way around. When you came on all the way around, we're just about to finish off, and remember how I weaved in the blue here. Because I've gone over top it with the pink, I can safely cut that now because it's buried underneath the stitches just like you see here. So let's begin, and we are just finalizing off this round, and we're coming to the final corner, and again one single crochet, and the other side has already been done because that's where we started. We're gonna chain one, and we're just gonna slip stitch it to the very beginning chain just like so. And this concludes doing the octagon motif. We're just gonna trim off the ends, and we're just gonna safely weave these in, because when we go to do the sewing afterward, when we go to sew this in a position, we're gonna trap these strings in a position between the sew marks just like so. And so I'm just kind of just gently just weaving it in, and when I go back in afterward, it'll fasten it in as I do the sewing procedures. So this concludes doing your round octagon motif just like so. Really kind of fun bubblegum colors just like so. So to begin the next process, you're going to want to do the squares, and you're going to want to move on to video number 2 next. Well, there you have it. That was how to complete your octagon. So move along to video number 2 as we work along and make ourselves some squares in order to continue this Afghan along in its process. Until next time, we'll see you on video number 2.